Hello and welcome to this Be Smart About tool on understanding your prospects' needs. My name is Simon Moore, and if you'd like to know a little bit more about me, please see my profile on the Smart People page of the Be Smart About website. And feel free to connect with me after this presentation with feedback or questions. There is a prospect needs questionnaire tool that you should download, print, and have available to review alongside this presentation. One version of the tool is blank for you to add in your own questions. The other is a sample tool that you can use for inspiration and to get you started. Alright, let's get going. Other than closing the deal, the most important part of the sales process is ensuring that you are asking the right questions of your prospects. This is because unless you are purely selling on price, you have to better understand what your prospect is thinking in order to evolve the sales process into something that's really going to stand out to them and to talk to what they're truly interested in. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. You are collecting pieces of information and then putting them together to build up a clearer picture of each and every prospect you talk to. Asking questions is going to help you build engagement and demonstrate value. Ultimately, it gives you the greatest chances of improving your sales conversion rate. By implementing this sort of tool, you should be looking at converting more prospects to customers by collecting the right information and using it accordingly to close the deal. By completing this tool, you will have a list of questions that you can ask each and every customer you talk to. I'll help you think through what it is you need to know, when the questions should be asked, and how to ask them. But in the end, it will be a simple list of questions or a form that you can fill in. The answers to those questions, as I've said before, should give you what you need to improve your chances of closing the deal. So to keep this simple, we're going to stick with a simple pen and paper exercise. You'll need up to 5 days to compile your first list of questions, and you may want to have it tested for up to 30 days before committing to using it with every customer. I'm focusing this tool on business-to-business sales, but I've created a questionnaire tool that's available for download for business-to-consumer sales as well. This won't be a lengthy process to get something basic in place that you can use. Having done this activity many times, aside from creating the questions, you need to spend some time seeing and hearing your questions in action. Often what is down on paper as your initial ideas may sound odd when they're said. They may be awkward if asked at the wrong time, and you may have missed something. So once you have a draft, go and test it out, see it in action, bring it back, adapt it, and then settle on your version 1.0. If you have printed the tool to look at alongside this presentation, everything should fit on one side of paper, so this need not be a large undertaking. Your tool is organized to collect information in a logical order. First, you want to ensure that you know who you are talking to and how you contact them. This way, if the conversation ends at the very least, you will have the ability to follow up. Then, you want to give the prospect a chance to talk about what they think they need. You'll notice I say think, as it may be you have a range of products and services, and what they're coming to you for may better fit something that they don't yet know about. Then, the most important part of any questioning is to find out the why. What are the pain points? And I'll cover this in more detail next. Then comes some housekeeping. There may be some specifics that you need to know in order to finalize a clear picture of what you can put together for them, like when they need what you sell, or a specific about how they would use it. Out of all of the questions, the why is the killer question. If you don't get to the why, then you're missing the most valuable input a prospect can make into the sales process. What you are trying to find out is what problem are they trying to solve. Sometimes it's called a pain point. And whilst this sounds negative, it could also be an opportunity they have or something more positive. Either way, knowing what is driving them to make a decision is gold dust. By asking the why questions, you're able then to reinforce throughout your sales process why you are the best choice. Rather than just saying you sell widgets, you are able to sell widgets that fix the issue that they want to solve. Second to that, if they have an issue with price or making a decision, for example, you can remind them as to their reasoning and what's important to them. If they want to fix the issue, then maybe they have to pay the price. And finally, when you ask a why question, as a prospect, I truly believe it makes you feel heard and interested in. If I just ask you what you need and then sell it to you, yes, there is a sale there, but I may have sold you the wrong thing. I may have missed the opportunity to sell you more. If you are up against stiff competition, sometimes just asking the why questions will help you stand out. In the tool, I've given you some suggested questions to get you started, but they will be generic and you may need to get more specific with your final list of questions. Just before you put pen to paper, just consider that there are two types of questions. Closed questions allow for only a yes or no answer. Did you come here today by car? Yes or no is the only answer. How did you get here today, however, is an open question. It allows the prospect to talk, and they may give you more details, not just how they got there, but how long it took and the hassle from the traffic. Be mindful not to allow your questions to be all closed. The open ones will give you some gold to mine. So far, it's been all about the questions, and you may be worried that your sales process is going to become too lengthy and too all-consuming. But don't worry. Firstly, you don't have to ask a lot of questions to get what you need from the prospect. And secondly, you don't have to collect it all at once. Sales processes are going to vary from business to business, but you could get the who information, for instance, from your website. If there are phone conversations or meetings, that's where you're going to want to get the bulk of the information. But again, it doesn't have to be an inquisition. That's where your sales skills are going to come in. And you may defer some information to be collected after you've met the prospect. The tool allows you to get the answers down onto one page and to build up that picture, but the questions can be spread out. Here are a few smart tips to help you get started. Firstly, as you stare at the tool to create your questions, start with what your business needs to know to make a sale. Get that information down, collected in the form of questions. And then when you have your list, challenge yourself. Do you really need to know it, or did you put that question there just in case? I've looked at a number of needs analysis style questionnaires, and there are often questions that neither the business nor the person asking them knows why they're asking it. If you're not going to use the answer somehow, then you should scrap the question. I've said this before, and linked to the previous point, you should keep it short. Strike the balance between getting the information you need and not boring the prospect or putting them on the spot, or worse, putting them off from buying. And as a process guy, I know some people get concerned about this sort of tool and structure being restrictive and that it can come across as too programmed. At the end of the day, these questions act as a framework. Your sales skills and personality lay over the top of it. So yes, you do want to get the question answered, but how it's achieved may be slightly different each time. You need to be comfortable for the prospect to be comfortable. Next, keep it simple to start with. A sheet of paper is the easiest way to get this done. For every meeting or call with a new prospect, you simply fill it in. There are other ways to do it, and as your business grows, you may want to think about how that information gets into a customer relationship management system for you to be able to track, or whether you can collect that information on a tablet or another device. I've kept it simple so the basics are done well, but you can certainly augment the process to make it fit your growing business. Finally, I wrote this presentation on the assumption that you personally are doing the selling, but it may be you're a larger business with a number of salespeople in place. As such, there are 2 tips here. Firstly, pay close attention to the wording of your questions. If you write out a question, you have a very good chance that the salesperson will read it verbatim. So, if that is the case, just be comfortable that if your salesperson reads the question exactly how you wrote it, that you'll be happy with how it sounds. And when training it in, bear in mind that if this is totally new, it could take a month or 2 to truly get embedded. I recommend that you want to make updates no more than twice a year. This way your team don't get too much change too often, and you can get the results you want from rolling this sort of tool out. So that's it. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure to help you be smarter about understanding your prospects' needs. As with all Be Smart About tools, you can submit your questions to us via email, and either myself or one of the Smart People team will respond within 24 hours. Don't forget, though, to download your tools and to get started with creating your own prospect needs questionnaire. We here at Be Smart About continue to develop tools and content based on our shared knowledge and successes to help you and others like you in getting the basics right for your business and to continue your business success. So please be an active part of our community and share your feedback and ideas so we can deliver the tools you need to be successful. Thank you for your time.